In a world where January is supposed to be boring, one staple of the holidays refuses to end. The great deals at Verizon. The joy just keeps on coming. Right now, you can save on 4 new phones and 4 lines. Critics agree it's the deal that keeps on giving. Come into Verizon and save on 4 new phones and 4 lines on unlimited welcome. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
Dreaming of getting the all-new iPhone 17 Pro designed to be the most powerful iPhone ever?
Then stay in bed and let a Boost Mobile expert deliver and set it up for you.
Oh, actually, they will have to get up and open the door.
Oh, right.
Delivery available for select devices purchased at boostmobile.com. Terms apply.
We live in a culture obsessed with dieting, weight loss, and exercise. And that can make eating disorder behaviors easy to miss. But the reality is, eating disorders are serious mental illnesses that take a major toll on your health and your life. But recovery is possible. Eating disorders are more common than you might think. Chances are you know someone who is struggling with one. Or maybe you're struggling yourself. If you're concerned about an eating disorder in yourself or a loved one, I want to introduce you to Equip. Equip is a fully virtual, evidence-based eating disorder treatment program that helps patients achieve lasting recovery at home. Every Equip patient is matched with a multidisciplinary care team that includes a therapist, dietitian, medical provider, and mentors. And you get a personalized treatment plan that's tailored to your unique goals and challenges. Equip treats patients of all ages and all eating disorder diagnoses. It's covered by insurance, and there's no wait list. If you think that you or a loved one could be struggling with an eating disorder, don't wait to get help. Visit equip.health to learn more. That's equip.health.
Hi, it's Matt here from P1 with Matt and Tommy, and this episode is sponsored by eBay. Ever tried to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger, a paper title, and some blind trust? With Secure Purchase on eBay, you don't have to. Secure Purchase means sellers and titles are verified. Financing covered. Registration handled. Delivery, get your ride, plates and paperwork shipped to you, so you can skip the DMV and sketchy meetups. Buy your next car on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
Hello, I'm Sarah and welcome to the Whispering Woods After Dark. Now this is kind of a two-parter, and how it's worked out, this first part I think is going to be the shorter part, with the second part being longer. So we're looking at the Tokoloshe, and what I've done is put a piece together about what the Tokoloshe is, and then in the next episode we're going to take a look at some of the stories where people have said they have seen the Tokoloshe or it's been involved in something. I'll get straight into it. Are you ready for the story? In the mythology of the Zulu and other Nguni peoples, The Tokoloshe is described as a dwarf-like water spirit. According to legend, the Tokoloshe started as an amorphous water sprite dwelling in rivers. Angered by human encroachment on its waterways, this spirit took on a physical form to interact or interfere with humans. Traditionally, people envisioned it as a small, hairy, humanoid creature, sometimes likened to a gremlin or brownie, other times more primate-like. One constant in these tales is its short stature. Some say a Tokoloshe only stands about hip-high. Many folklore descriptions add disturbing details. Some claim the Tokoloshe has only one buttock and a grotesquely long penis slung over its shoulder, emphasizing its lecherous nature. It may sport talon-like claws and glowing red eyes, an embodiment of evil in miniature form. Despite its tiny size, the Tokoloshe's powers are feared. It's said to turn invisible at will, often by drinking water or swallowing a pebble, so it can stalk victims unseen. By day it might skulk in rivers or hide in dark corners. By night it creeps into huts and bedrooms. In Zulu folklore, the creature is notorious for terrorizing sleepers, especially the vulnerable. It slips under blankets to bite off unsuspecting people's toes, or presses down on their chest, making them feel unable to move or breathe. At its most mischievous, a Tokoloshe might merely scuff about the house, stealing small items or scaring children. But at its worst, it's a murderous fiend, capable of inflicting illness and death on its victims. Many stories describe victims waking with long, bloody scratches on their limbs, or mysteriously falling gravely ill after a nocturnal encounter. Some claim the creature will even climb onto the bed and choke a sleeper with its tiny bony fingers, or commit heinous acts of sexual violence. What does this little monster represent in the culture that fears it? The Tokoloshe occupies a complex place in southern African belief systems. On one hand, it's a supernatural scapegoat, a way to explain the inexplicable tragedies of life. For example, in rural communities, people sometimes died mysteriously in their sleep. Traditional huts, rondevelles, often had indoor fires for warmth. Unbeknownst to the occupants, the fire could consume oxygen and fill the hut with carbon monoxide, which sinks low to the floor. Healthy individuals sleeping near the ground might never wake up. Rather than an invisible poison, villagers feared a Tokoloshe stealing the life from those sleepers. They observed that anyone sleeping on an elevated bed was spared, so the law arose that a Tokoloshe could only reach those on the floor. Placing a bed on bricks became the precaution against Tokoloshe attacks, a practice still seen today as people literally try to stay out of reach of the creature. In reality, raising your bed also kept one above the lethal layer of bad air, inadvertently saving lives. Beyond this, the Tokoloshe often symbolizes malicious intent within the community. It's widely believed that a Tokoloshe never appears on its own. Someone must send it. In many tales, a jealous neighbour or embittered relative consults a witch or sorcerer to unleash a Tokoloshe. The creature embodies witchcraft by proxy. It is the unseen hand that wreaks havoc, while the true perpetrator hides in the shadows. If misfortune befalls you, your cow's milk dries up, your child falls ill, your spouse strays, suspicious eyes turn toward whoever might have a motive to call the Tokoloshe. Among some communities, the creature is even seen as a form of familiar spirit or dark sidekick to a witch, doing the dirty work of the witch herself hesitates to do. In this sense, the Tokoloshe has also become a bit of a satirical figure in modern culture. South African humour often pokes fun at overzealous belief in Tokoloshes. For example, cartoons and jokes about missing homework being blamed on the goblin, or a politician laughing off scandal by quipping, "A Tokoloshe must have done it." Yet beneath the humour is an acknowledgement of the Tokoloshe's pervasive influence on the psyche. It's the catch-all culprit when things go bump in the night, or life takes a cruel turn. Legends agree that the Tokoloshe's power is tied to witchcraft. It's not a natural creature that simply breeds or wanders like an animal. Instead, a Tokoloshe is created or bound through a dark ritual. The typical story goes like this. A jealous or vengeful person approaches an evil witch doctor, in Zulu a Sangoma, who has turned to the dark side, and requests vengeance on arrival. For a price, the witch doctor will summon a Tokoloshe to do their bidding. But first, something must be given in return, often a human soul. The client must sacrifice the life of a loved one within a year, as payment to the demon. A horrifying bargain where the Tokoloshe itself decides which soul it will take. Different communities offer various equally ghastly methods on how to make a Tokoloshe. One common ritual involves taking a recent corpse from a grave. The witch doctor then drives a red-hot iron rod through the corpse's skull and eye sockets, a brutal act meant to enslave the spirit and shrink the body down to a diminutive goblin-like form. A special powder or muti, magic medicine, is sprinkled over it to reanimate the corpse as a Tokoloshe. The witch doctor has created a zombie-like servant. The unlucky soul is bound in a grotesque new shape, devoid of free will and ready to obey its master's commands. Some traditions say, if a suitable corpse isn't available, the sorcerer will create one, murdering a victim to manufacture the evil familiar. Other versions of the lore suggest different origins. Perhaps the witch transforms a domestic animal or doll, or even projects their own spirit outwards to take that form. Once unleashed, a Tokoloshe will pursue the witch's vendetta relentlessly. It carries out any work the witch commands, as one folklorist put it. This could mean slipping poison into a rival's food, spreading illness, frightening someone out of their home, or attacking a target in their sleep. And the witch, conveniently, keeps her hands clean. In rural beliefs, a Tokoloshe is essentially the hitman of the supernatural realm. Yet controlling such a creature is perilous. Witches are said to keep Tokoloshes docile by feeding them. According to lore, a Tokoloshe craves curdled milk. By feeding it, the witch asserts dominance, much like one might placate a guard dog. Another trick Witches trim the hair from the Tokoloshe's eyes so it can see clearly and remain useful. If a witch fails to satisfy her creature, it could turn on her or cause unintended chaos. Some Tokoloshe tales carry a moral for those who dabble in evil. Be careful what you summon, for the Tokoloshe always takes its due. The client who sends a Tokoloshe must eventually pay the price, often the life of someone dear, as the demon will claim a soul as its reward. To protect yourself from a roaming Tokoloshe, traditional healers offer defences. Tokoloshe salts can be sprinkled around the house to ward it off. A powerful Sangoma may perform a cleansing ritual or exorcism, banishing the entity back to the underworld. In extreme cases, some communities have even hunted Tokoloshes. There are stories of groups banding together with shotguns and spears to track a suspected creature hiding in the bushes. Though invariably they find nothing, or perhaps only a wild animal that they can quickly dispatch. The belief is so strong that any strange animal, an unnaturally bold baboon for instance, might be suspected of being a Tokoloshe in disguise and killed on sight. And of course the simplest preventative measure is the one we've mentioned. Raise your bed on bricks and never sleep on the floor, lest the Tokoloshe reach you. The Tokoloshe may be folklore, but its impact on real-life events and attitudes is well documented. During colonial times, Western observers were astonished to find how deeply this belief ran. A 1956 report in Time magazine noted that among Zulu communities, to look at the Tokoloshe means instant death, yet no man can refuse his bidding. It remarked that even murder, thievery and rape might be forgiven by neighbours if the culprit convincingly proved that a Tokoloshe forced him to do it. In other words, a villager who committed a crime under alleged Tokoloshe influence could sometimes find sympathy. They were seen as another victim of the evil spirit. Even colonial courts occasionally treated Tokoloshe claims as mitigating factors. There are cases on record where judges took into account a defendant's genuine fear of a Tokoloshe when evaluating their actions. This was not an endorsement of superstition, so much as an acknowledgement of the psychological grip the belief had on people. One of the most infamous historical cases is that of Ilafasa Zuni, infamously dubbed the Tokoloshe Killer. Between 1953 and 1955, this young Zulu Sangoma from Natal went on a horrific crime spree, murdering at least 15 people. When he was finally caught, Sumi gave an eerie explanation. He claimed a Tokoloshe companion was at his side the entire time, instructing him to kill. According to Sumi, his troubles began when he sought guidance from an older witch doctor. During this meeting, he saw a Tokoloshe masquerading as the witch's doctor's son. The elder witch doctor then ordered Sumi to collect human blood for use in powerful muti spells. Specifically, the blood of 15 victims, and he introduced the Tokoloshe as a partner who would help Sumi carry out the grisly task. For the next 18 months, Sumi claimed, he and the invisible goblin roamed the countryside, killing victim after victim to gather the required blood. The villagers said that Somi travelled with an unseen friend. They would see him talking to thin air, or notice 2 sets of footprints where only one man should have been. Each time Somi was captured, the Tokoloshe supposedly helped him escape from jail, allowing the murder spree to continue. He was finally recaptured after the quota of 15 deaths was filled. The Tokoloshe told him their pact was complete and departed. When Somi was tried, he insisted he was not a madman or a liar. A Tokoloshe truly had compelled him to kill. To the colonial court, this sounded like either insanity or a convenient lie, and Somi was sentenced to hang. But local Zulu chieftains were concerned enough about the claim to get involved. Fearing the Tokoloshe might somehow save Somi at the last moment, a group of chiefs requested permission to witness the execution. They stood by as Somi went to the gallows in February 1956, watching intently to ensure no invisible imp interfered. Only once the trapdoor sprang and Somi died did one chief announce with relief, unsatisfied, Tokoloshe did not save him. The Somi case captured headlines and highlights the Tokoloshe's role as a folk explanation for serial violence. Some analysis believes Somi may have used the Tokoloshe story to deflect personal responsibility, blaming an imaginary friend for his heinous deeds. But others note that Somi himself likely believed it, at least to an extent. In communities where Tokoloshes are real in everyone's minds, even a killer can frame his urges through that narrative, perhaps to lessen his own guilt or genuinely rationalise voices he heard. What's clear is that by mid-20th century, the Tokoloshe legend had evolved beyond simple bedtime stories. It became entangled with true crime and social fears, a powerful symbol in courtrooms, newspaper stories, and gossip. Another historical report dates back to 1933. A man was jailed for murdering his young nephew after mistaking the child for a Tokoloshe. Perhaps the uncle saw a small shadowy figure in the dark, and in a panic struck out with force. This sad case again shows how real the Tokoloshe's threat was to people. Even one's beloved family member could be killed if perceived as a shape-shifting Tokoloshe in disguise. European settlers and writers in southern Africa also took note of the Tokoloshe. In the early 1900s, accounts of this Zulu bogeyman appeared in colonial writings, often with a mix of amusement and alarm. Some talked of bicycles outfitted with extra back seats for Tokoloshe, implying locals so feared the creature that they'd give it a ride rather than risk angering it. An often cited bit of folklore says when riding alone at night, a person might feel a small invisible passenger hop onto their horse or bicycle, the Tokoloshe catching a lift. Better to offer the seat than provoke a deadly fall. Over time, Tokoloshe stories spread beyond Zulu country into neighbouring cultures. Xhosa, 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 Shona, each adopting the legend with their own twist. In Basotho, Lesotho lore, for instance, the creature is called Tokoloshe, but it retains the same basic traits. By the 20th century, the Tokoloshe was truly a pan-Southern African phenomenon. It even journeyed with migrants and appeared in cities, where they would half-jokingly blame a Tokoloshe for lost car keys or a pranked co-worker. The myth also crossed racial lines to a degree, with some white South Africans and others acknowledging the Tokoloshe in tongue-in-cheek fashion, or occasionally in earnest, especially those living in close contact with communities that believed.
In a world where January is supposed to be boring, one staple of the holidays refuses to end. The great deals at Verizon. The joy just keeps on coming. Right now, you can save on 4 new phones and 4 lines. Critics agree it's the deal that keeps on giving. Come into Verizon and save on 4 new phones and 4 lines on unlimited welcome. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Hi, it's Matt here from P1 with Matt and Tommy, and this episode is sponsored by eBay. Ever tried to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger, a paper title, and some blind trust? With Secure Purchase on eBay, you don't have to. Secure Purchase means sellers and titles are verified. Financing covered. Registration handled. Delivery, get your ride, plates, and paperwork shipped to you, so you can skip the DMV and sketchy meetups. Buy your next car on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
This is another one that I've written about in the book. I just find it fascinating, and I have heard some really quite creepy stories about Tokoloshe, and it's not the kind of thing you want to find hiding under your bed, that's for sure. Also, it hits a bit of a nerve with me because it kind of reminds me of the creature that I saw after I had Maisie when I was having my funny little time. Psychosis, post-natal depression, real entity. Maybe somebody sent Tokoloshe to me to terrorise me. I don't know. I never will know. But that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will catch you again tomorrow for the second part. Take care, everyone.
In a world where January is supposed to be boring, one staple of the holidays refuses to end. The great deals at Verizon. The joy just keeps on coming. Right now, you can save on 4 new phones and 4 lines. Critics agree it's the deal that keeps on giving. Come into Verizon and save on 4 new phones and 4 lines on unlimited welcome. Additional terms apply. See Verizon.com for details.
Fall is all about cozy comforts, and with Hero Bread, you can enjoy all your favorites and still hit your health goals. From breakfast bagels and meal prepped enchiladas to mouth-watering burgers and cheesy noodles. You won't believe Hero Bread's options have 0 to 5 grams net carbs and are high fiber from the taste and texture. And right now, Hero Bread is offering 10% off your order. Go to hero.co and use code FALL25 at checkout. That's FALL25 at hero.co. All figures are per serving of Hero Bread. Contains 2 to 18 grams of fat per serving. See the product nutrition panels on hero.co for more information.
Switching between tools for one project gets disjointed, especially on tight deadlines. Grammarly built a game-changing writing surface tailor-made for professionals to help you move your ideas forward and sharpen your writing. You can brainstorm ideas, summarize meeting notes in seconds, or strengthen a proposal without context switching. Easy to get started and even easier to finish. Sign up for Grammarly free and get your professional writing from draft to done. Visit Grammarly.com. That's Grammarly.com.
The stories told on the Whispering Woods are inspired by historical records, witness reports, and local folklore. While every effort is made to research and represent events accurately, some details, names, and locations may differ from official accounts or have been changed out of respect for those involved. These episodes are created for storytelling and entertainment purposes and should not be considered definitive fact or investigative journalism.